So it looks like you're seeking a little assistance with these solving a two-step equations that involve integers, and I think some of the questions in this topic are also two-step equations that have fractions involved. Well, this is a classic beginning type of algebra problem that we will spend a lot of time in class on. I am thinking you may or we may not have covered this in class yet if you're looking for some help here. But this is definitely some fundamental algebra concepts that we will be covering, and see if I can help you through this right now. This problem says negative 12 is equal to 4 of something. In this case it's 4x minus 4. So when we have these algebra problems, you will recall from class, or if we haven't gotten there yet in class, the goal is to get the variable, in this case the x's, by themselves. So we are attempting to isolate the 4x's. And these are two-step problems because we're going to actually have to apply 2 steps so we get one x on its own. And the first thing we are going to do in this problem is we're going to unwrap this problem by attempting to get the 4x's by themselves. So the first step here is going to be to subtract, or rather to add 4 to both sides. Right now we have this 4 which is being taken away from the 4x. So to get the 4x by itself, we are going to apply the opposite operation. And the opposite of minus 4 is to add 4. And that leaves us with 4x on the right side of the equal sign. Now you will recall from class that whatever we do to one side, in this case adding 4, to keep this equation balanced, because this is in fact a balancing act, we are going to have to apply that same move, plus 4, to both sides. And right now we have a negative 12 and a positive 4, so those signs are different. This is a subtractum, baby, and we are left with a negative 8 on the left side. That's step 1. The final step here is to once again look at the x and say, what is happening to the x? Well, it's being multiplied by 4. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4. And that leaves us with x by itself, and negative 8 divided by positive 4. Hopefully you come up with 2. And since there is one negative, it is a negative 2 is your answer. If you would like to check this, if you are curious whether or not your answer is accurate, you can easily check it by plugging it back into the problem. And here is our check. We are going to take the value of x, which is negative 2, and plug it in to the x here. So instead of 4x, we are going to say, all right, this is 4 times negative 2, because that is in fact the value that we have calculated for the x. And we are also taking 4 away, and this says negative 12, and we can work through this pretty quickly. We've got negative 12 is equal to 4 times negative 2. Well, that is negative 8. Take away 4, and we end up with negative 12 is equal to negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. So this checks out. And if you ever get stuck on one of these equations, you can always plug the value back into the problem, work through it, and check it out. And in this case, I know that I am in fact right. Negative 12 is equal to negative 12, and x is definitely equal to negative 2. Here's our final example. This problem is a little bit different, but it does fall into a two-step category, and you will see why in a moment. So we have 3 plus y over 4 is equal to negative 21. 3 added to some number divided by 4 is equal to negative 21. All right, a couple ways to do this, and I'm just going to go over one here. First off, we are going to try and get our y over 4 on its own. That's the first step. And to do that, we need to subtract 3 from both sides of our equation. Here we go. And we end up with y over 4 is equal to, and a minus 21 and a minus 3 become a negative 24. And in this case, y is being divided by 4, so the opposite of that, or to undo a y divided by 4, we are in fact going to have to multiply. And what we've talked about in class here is taking this negative 24, putting it over 1, and cross multiplying. Alright, this is in the category of an iHeart Math problem. And we're going to cross multiply and say 1 times y is in fact 1y, and that is going to be equal to, and now we're going to multiply the other way, 4 times a negative 24 is equal to negative 96. And this is the answer. This right here is cross multiplying. We have multiplied 1 times y, and that gave us y, and then we multiplied 4 times negative 24 for a total of negative 96. We will talk a lot about the iHeart Math and cross multiplication during class, but for now, hopefully this unlocks these problems a little bit more easily, and you are able to proceed with these two-step equations in the ALEKS program. Good luck.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.